The Institute of Democratic Governance, IDEG, has called for multi-party governance reforms before the 2016 elections. The institute identified 5 challenges which it says, if are not addressed, will derail Ghana's democratic process.
After 6 successful presidential and parliamentary elections, Ghana has been described as a beacon of hope in the sub-region. However, observations made from the outcomes of 2 consecutive national elections, 2008 and 2012, have highlighted a number of challenges. According to civil society groups, these challenges are not receiving the necessary attention from political leaders and policymakers. At a forum in Accra, the Institute of Democratic Governance, IDEG, identified the challenges as the recurring threat of political violence, weakening of national cohesion, politicization, corruption of public service bureaucracies, domination of the political scene by 2 parties, and the lack of political dialogue and national consensus on many issues.
Every election year, we must create districts. We must move away from that because it also creates a sense of politicization and a sense of also, even though from the government side it's a sense of inclusion, it also becomes a sense of exclusion.
Constitution writing is essentially an elite project. I mean, look the world over. Even in the famous example we all refer to, in the United States, the Constitution of the US was not written by the American people. It was written by an elite and was given to the people, of course, for approval. The people are always there to be finally consulted. But I'm just saying this to draw attention to the fact that because the Commission probably might have consulted too extensively in terms of the grassroots, the concerns of the grassroots are not necessarily the concerns sometimes of people who actually have a certain degree of enlightenment. And I'm not suggesting by way of any chance that they are not enlightened, but at different levels. And I think that if you go and consult people on the street, if you consult people at the very grassroots somewhere, many people's concerns, bread and butter. If you come and ask them complicated issues about the structural relationship between Parliament and the Executive, they will tell you what they want to tell you. But in the end, you may have a certain outcome that may not necessarily be related to the people who initially even started the concerns and the complaints.
Why should Ghanaians live in fear in an election year? One of our great sons, Kofi Annan, his legacy to the world is the very important report to the United Nations, freedom from fear. So we need to liberate our people to live in such a way that in an election year, they do not have that fear that has been talked about.
The forum concluded that if the reforms are adopted and implemented, the multi-party governance system will be strengthened and Ghana will enjoy peace, stability and national unity in 2016 and beyond.